big game this weekend in the Premier League just before the international break. Chelsea not in the best of ways at the moment. Tottenham, not doing that bad, not doing that great. Away form, we've got 2 wins in a row now away from home. When you're looking at our away form,
in the Premier League, we're going pretty well.
Yeah, we are going pretty well. Nine games since Conte has come here, 6 wins, 3 draws. But it's just about the way we're playing our football at the moment. I mean,
well, last game was great.
Yeah, I was going to say in the last 5 games in the Premier League, probably before the Leicester game, you would say that we're not playing well in the Premier League. After that Leicester game, very impressive display, in my opinion. If we can kind of take that display from Leicester and use it in this game against Chelsea, I actually think we've got a chance this weekend.
Well, definitely, and you've got to consider as well that both games against Chelsea, I know it's very likely we'll have the same back three as we had against same back three as we had against Chelsea in the boat over 2 legs. But one key difference I'm hoping is that we'll probably have Reguilon on the left, and it's a big part of how we play, having those fullbacks and having that defensive solidity there as well, and a threat on the break to go forward. So that is going to make a big difference when thinking about this game. Obviously, Harry Kane on top of his game at the moment. I think he had a great game in the second leg against Chelsea. I thought he had a great game against Leicester. So he's definitely one who he's definitely one that we're going to have to hope steps up in this game at Stamford Bridge. It's going to be definitely a different kind of different challenge. But definitely to get, although we got thoroughly outplayed in the 2 games in the Carabao Cup, this is a different game now. Hopefully, we don't shoot ourselves in the foot early on in the game like we did both legs. You know, both games, Tanganga early on, wasn't it? It was in the first few minutes, wasn't it? He gave the ball away and they scored. And what was the other one against in the second leg? Golini's mistake. That was what, 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in.
Literally, yeah.
So if we can hopefully not shoot ourselves in the foot in the opening 15 minutes or so, keep it tight. Make sure we're in the game, then for sure, I think that this game could be very even, definitely considering how Chelsea are playing at the moment, because I can't see them being super confident that they're going to win. They're going to kind of, I can see them bursting out the traps, but if we can ride the storm for the first 15, 20 minutes, then I think if we get settled in the game, there could be a point in there for us. I think it's still going to be very tough to win because Chelsea is they haven't lost many games, even though they're in bad form.
No, but I think that when you're looking at their home form specifically, in their last 5 home games, right? Well, let's say in the last 3 actually home games in the Premier League, they've drawn all 3.
Yeah,
in the Premier League, Liverpool, Brighton, and Everton. Before that, then they beat Leeds. Before that,
yeah, but Liverpool they played very well.
Pardon?
Liverpool, they played very well.
They did play very well, but they're letting Brighton come to Stamford Bridge get points. They're letting Everton, who just got their manager sacked, come and get points. I mean, we should be, with their form, we should be going into this and literally trying to target their weaknesses and getting points from this game. We really should. We should have confidence to go and get a point from Stamford Bridge this weekend. No matter what our form is at Stamford Bridge, yes, I know it's been very poor and we've won 1 game there literally in my lifetime or something. But with that game against Leicester, that should be giving us confidence to go and thinking we can get a point this weekend.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
I think we should definitely be confident that we can. We're definitely confident we can get a point, considering how we're playing, how we played our last game, and how Chelsea are. But you just know Chelsea could always step up at any time, don't you?
Especially against us.
And the team they have, the players they have, at any moment, maybe he'll tweak the formation, he'll surprise. Tuchel's a great manager.
Yeah.
So I know things are not going great for him at the moment in terms of not wins-wise, but at any moment, they could switch things up and they could. I'm under no illusion that they're going to turn up on Sunday.
What do you put it all down to, this bad form from Chelsea? Because when you cast your mind back to the back end of last season, they look unbeatable at times. They really did. They go on and win the Champions League, beating Man City in the final. They start the season. They signed Lukaku. They start this season like an absolute house on fire. They look like they're going to be definitely a shoo-in for the title, or definitely in the conversation towards the end of the season. What is it about Chelsea? What's happened to them?
Yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it? I can't really put my finger on why they. I guess you can maybe say, Chilwell's got a long-term injury now. Reece James has been out for a while. Their fullbacks, a bit like Spurs, they're a very, very big element to how they play. And with them being out, it's kind of blunted them a bit on the wings, and that means that a lot of the focus now is in the central areas. And if you can, a bit like Tottenham, if you can blunt them in the central areas, then they don't quite have the threat they did before on the wings. Whereas before, I remember a game against Brentford where they were struggling big time in the central areas to really impact the game. And then Chilwell pops up with a goal at the back post, and they win the game 1-0. Like, I think at the moment it's a bit of a weird one because they keep taking the lead, and then they can't get the second goal, and they keep conceding an equaliser late on. That seems to be the pattern for Chelsea at the moment. A bit like Spurs last year, a lot of the time. So whether he keeps saying, Tuchel, that Chelsea need to stop playing the result and play the game because they keep taking the lead and then sitting on it and conceding. So it's very strange why it keeps happening. The level of player they have, it shouldn't. Obviously, the whole Lukaku situation probably hasn't helped. Although he was coming back and scoring goals, but again, last couple of games he hasn't been quite on it, has he, Lukaku? So maybe it's just a case of switching formation. Maybe it's a case of they need to freshen things up a bit. And I don't doubt on Sunday they'll come up with a plan against us tomorrow. No doubt about it. So I wouldn't be too excited about their loss of form because they're just a team that can turn it on.
Yeah, completely agree. When you're looking at the Chelsea side and the players that they have out this weekend, I mean, obviously we've spoken about the fullbacks in Reece James and Chilwell. Chalobah's out, Mendy's at the AFCON, and Christensen out in the defence. So, I mean, Rudiger always has a good, well, not always, but Rudiger has had a good season this year as he did last year. Alonso is one that you could probably target as one of their weaknesses, but he always has a good game against us, doesn't he?
Unfortunately so. And it'll be interesting to see who Tottenham put up against him because obviously both games was Emerson. But with Emerson being hauled off at half time, do you reckon he puts Doherty back in? It's going to be interesting.
That's the question, isn't it? That's the question.
I wouldn't. Sure. I would stick with Emerson if I was him, but I have a feeling
I would play Adama there.
Well, we don't have it, unfortunately, but I've got. Wow, we lost our 5 games against Chelsea.
Yeah,
head to head. Bloody hell!
No, we drew 0-0 at the.
Oh, that's right, but yeah, we don't have a very good record against Chelsea recently.
We haven't scored against them in 5 games.
Wow, and we haven't beaten them. We haven't beaten them at the new stadium.
No. We haven't beaten them for Stamford Bridge since Dele Alli and Ericsson game.
That was 2018, so nearly 4 years ago now. So our recent form against Chelsea suggests they usually have the upper hand in this one.
So our last win against them was that one at Wembley when Son did that mazy run. Is that their last win against them?
Yeah.
That's mad. That's mad.
That was in 2018.
So many times since then as well.
Yeah, that was in 2018. So that was a long time ago. Obviously, Son's not going to be back for this one as well. You got to remember, as much as we were great against Leicester, still, in terms of attacking options, we were so heavily reliant on Kane. And if they shackle Kane better than Leicester did, which I'm sure they will, it's going to be very hard for us to attack in the same way. Because literally, I would say 85% of our attacks against Leicester was going through Kane.
Well, we need Lucas Moura to step it up because he wasn't that great against Leicester, and we need 2 avenues of attack if we're going to play those 2 up top. So we need both of them to have a really good game as well as the fullbacks.
That's another thing as well, very crucial that we do this in this game. In both legs against Chelsea, we played a 3-4-3, and that was a mistake. I think that was a mistake. We shouldn't have done that. We got thoroughly dominated in the central area. Yeah. Chelsea controlled both games, and it wasn't. And we were way too easy to play against. Against Leicester, we played the 3-5-2, and I think we have to persist with that. Agreed. We need to get as much solidity, and even if it means playing Højbjerg, Skip and Winks all in the centre, making sure they're battling, making sure they're making it as difficult as possible for Chelsea to build up any
a dogfight. We need to be aggressive. We need to go at them. We need to literally put them under pressure for the whole 90 minutes of the game. And Skip and Højbjerg in the middle can do that. They can do that.
And it will be first we'll Skip Højbjerg, and Winks can put, and recently he's been putting a foot in as well, and it will give greater protection for the back 3 as well. So the likes of Tanganga, who was maybe struggling, hopefully, I'm pretty sure he's going to play on Sunday. Hopefully he won't be as exposed and he won't be struggling as much with more protection in the centre.
Would you play Bergwijn in this game?
Instead of Lucas, potentially. I think I would, because I think his attributes means he's actually more likely to hold the ball up, and he's more likely to bring other players into play. And I think he showed that against Leicester. And one great thing about Bergwijn, which he does and Lucas doesn't, is you saw it with the third goal. He runs in behind.
Yeah.
He will make that run, and he's a ball you can find. Lucas doesn't do that. Like he does it like a bit, but not as much as a player of his with his speed should.
Agreed.
He likes the ball to feet. He likes to take people on. He likes to beat players. Whereas Bergwijn can do that, but he will more likely to, with his back to goal, shield the ball. He's much better at shielding the ball than Lucas Moura, and he's much more likely to run in behind and exploit any space Chelsea leave. So I think I might start him. You know.
I'm worried that he might try and go for Bergwijn, Kane, Lucas up top because of Bergwijn, what he did on the week, and because obviously Lucas Moura's had a brilliant season. I'm worried he might still go for the two in midfield with those three up top.
I'm worried about that as well, but I'm hoping he saw. The reason I would also not do that is because if we do start the 3-4-3, you're pretty much starting with all your weapons. And if it doesn't go right, if we're losing 1-0, who are you going to bring on to change it? Like, at least if we got one of Lucas or Bergwijn on the bench, there's an option there to inject some energy.
Brian Hill went for a nice run at Stamford Bridge last time.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's still going on about it. Exactly. Oh, we won dribble and a cross, which didn't lead to a goal. Great. No, I'm not saying, look, I've got nothing against Brian Hill. I don't think he's the one to come on and really change the game for us right now. So that's why I would 100% play a 3-5-2. And you got to remember, for us, a draw is a good result on Sunday. Considering what the table looks like, Chelsea definitely need the win more than we do. A defeat, even a defeat on Sunday, is not that detrimental to us. Although it'll be a blow, but because I never want to lose this game, and league table, gives a chance for Arsenal to overtake us again and all that kind of stuff. But we got to set up and know a draw is a good result, I think. And I think Conte will know that. And it's not to say we don't attack and just go backs against the wall. No, but you got to make sure you're defending right first and be smart be a bit pragmatic.
I think Chelsea struggle when teams try and come at them. I think that's been clear over the last couple of weeks. I think if we're going to get anything from this game, we need to be so aggressive with them. We need to go for them. We need to go at them. But I'm worried that Conte is going to look at this as a must-not-lose game and not do that and kind of maybe sit back a little bit. And I think if we sit back and invite them onto us, I think we could be asking for trouble.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Maybe you're right. I just think but then again, if we can draw them out, allow them to leave a lot of space on us, and then if we can hit them with Bergwijn and Kane in behind, that could be our best avenue to success. I think I would start Bergwijn on Sunday if I was him. I don't know if he will. Yeah, instead of Lucas.
The thing is, yeah,
up front, because Bergwijn in a 2 up top looks really good. I really like that.
It's true.
And I think
I'd be the same.
He's much more suited to that role than Lucas Moura.
He might go for Lucas though.
I think he will go for Lucas. I think he will, but I would go for Bergwijn.
Yeah.
Not just based on what I saw on against Leicester. Obviously, it's a lot based on that, but I think recently he's been playing well, and I think he's just much more suited in terms of physicality and his ability to run in behind than Lucas is. So it'll be interesting to see what he does, and also it'll be interesting to see what he does on the right back situation. Those are the two big selections, because I do think he'll go with the 2. I believe that. I think against Leicester, he could have gone with a 3 and he didn't. He went with a 2 because he believed that's the best way forward. And I think so I think most positions are wrapped up. I think it's the right back position and the one up front. Those are the 2 ones. I'm not 100% sure which one he'll go for.
In terms of the Chelsea side, I mean, who's impressed you the most? I mean, bring up this graphic, the ones to watch first and
9
foremost.
goals for Jorginho.
If Jorginho's got 9 goals, I mean,
I think they're all from
penalties.
Yeah, they're all penalties.
9 penalties this season. That's nuts. For me, Mason Mount has been highly impressive this season. I think he's starting to add the goals and regular assists to his game. I think he stepped it up a notch from last season. I think for me, Mason Mount has been one of the shining lights for them this season.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a bit odd because against who was it? Their last game against City, he didn't start him, which I was really surprised.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't start him at all, and I was very It was very strange. Apparently, Mason Mount wasn't very happy with that, but he's been brilliant. He's such a versatile player as well. He can play on the left, the right, in the centre, and also in a centre mid as well. So he's really shown his versatility, and he's definitely one who's developed into a really good player for Chelsea. Really strong. Both feet as well, left foot, right foot, can score, can assist, got a really good shot, got an eye for a pass. So he's going to be one that we're going to have to keep quiet. They've got so much talent, though, in one-on-one situations. You know, you got... I know they got injuries and stuff, but you got like Hudson-Odoi, who's brilliant dribbler, lots of pace.
Player, Hudson-Odoi.
Although he's another one who needs work on his output. He's one you got to be careful of. You got Kai Havertz, who scored against us in the first leg. He's one who makes late runs in the box. He's hard to track. Against you got Ziyech, who didn't go to the AFCON. He scored against Brighton last time out, and he's one where if you give him any sort of space in around the penalty area, he can hurt you. Obviously, Lukaku, if he comes into form, he can bully you, and that he's one I worry about, because I feel like in this, although things haven't gone right for him of late, he knows a good performance against Tottenham and everything's forgotten.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm worried about. He's really going to step up in this game.
What's gone on there with Lukaku? I just don't understand the whole situation.
It's a very strange one.
He comes in, he's the happiest guy in the world. He's like, yeah, I'm coming back to my boyhood club. I've supported Chelsea my whole life. I want to be here for the rest of my career. What's happened?
I think he claims that Tuchel has changed the way they've played, and it doesn't suit him as well. That he claims that he came in thinking it was going to be one way, and it turns out they've played a different kind of way, and he's not happy about it. He's been left out quite a bit. I know he came back, he had an injury, but then he came back, he was being left out a lot. But Tuchel has been clear. Recently he said Lukaku is not a problem whatsoever. He's one of the solutions. So he's very adamant that Lukaku is a big part of his team and everything. I don't know what's gone so wrong with him and Chelsea.
What was the need for Lukaku to come out like he did and start running his mouth like he did? I mean, I'm happy because it's disrupting the Chelsea camp. I mean, I'm very happy with that situation, but I just don't get this whole thing. He seems like a bit of an idiot to me.
Yeah, he spoke to the Italian press, and then they sat on it for a couple of weeks, and then they released it all on one moment. And I don't know what his thinking was. It was very silly from his point of view. He's not going any move to Inter Milan in this January. We'll see about the summer, but I don't know about that as well, because they paid so much money for him. Yeah. Like, are they Inter Milan going to pay it back? Probably not. And I can't see it being a situation where they want to loan him, or just, it's only been 1 year, not even. So he's going to have to be at Chelsea for another couple of years at least, I would say. Yeah. So I think for him to do that was very, very strange. I think he felt that he left Inter Milan under circumstances which maybe he was a bit rushed out the door because of the money that they needed. And he said he felt that he didn't kind of have the goodbye that he would have wanted, and he didn't really want to leave in the first place. And now the Inter Milan fans hate him, and now things aren't quite working out at Chelsea, and he misses going to Inter Milan. So it's just a situation where he feels like things would have panned out differently, but unfortunately they panned out how they are, and he's got to deal with it. And it's a bit annoying actually from a Tottenham fan point of view. I'll tell you why, because we were about to sign Martinez, right? And this deal to Chelsea for Lukaku to Chelsea stopped our deal for Martinez going through pretty much. We had a deal agreed, that's what everyone's saying, and then they agreed that, and Chelsea came in, agreed a deal with Lukaku, and they decided, look, we'll sell Lukaku and keep Martinez because Martinez is younger and he can maybe have a bit more value, can grow in the future. And now it's come out that Lukaku never wanted to leave, and he wished he stayed, and the deal was not working out. So it's like, well, you shouldn't have done it, and we could have just got Martinez. It's really annoying.
Yeah, and on the back of that, Martinez signed a new contract at Inter Milan, staying for the foreseeable future. It is fairly annoying. Chelsea screwing us over once again,
and it hasn't even helped them that much.
How do you see the game going this weekend?
It's hard to know what Chelsea's going to turn up, isn't it? That's the real truth.
I think they love playing against Tottenham. They love playing against Tottenham. Their fans will always be up for it. They hate us more than anyone else. They're going to bang on in the dressing room that this is a massive game and we need to turn up for this one. So I have no doubts they're going to turn up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think it's going to be very, very tough. I think they're going to come flying out the blocks. I think they're going to try and hit us early like they did in both legs. And it's on us to make sure we ride that storm. I think we should play 3 in the middle, clog up the central areas, make sure it's as difficult as possible for Chelsea to get that advantage there. Because actually, as we've said, on the wings, with James and Chilwell out, they're not as strong as they would have been before. So if we can clog up the central areas and make it difficult, then I think that's where we can get our most joy, especially make it difficult for them. So I can see it being a very close game. As long as we don't concede early, I reckon we can nick a draw from this game. I can see us getting a few moments where we're able to hurt them, and especially if Bergwijn's there or Kane can be on top of his game. I'm certain that we can have a few moments. So I think we can come away with a draw here, especially how they're playing at the moment. But if Chelsea do hit us early and we kind of crumble, then it could be another bad day for us.
Yeah, we need to keep it tight for the first 20 minutes at least. I mean, since Conte's come here, there's been a kind of knack of Spurs being slow starters in games. I think the first 10, 20 minutes, we've kind of felt our way into games. But once we do get into games, we're all right and we are quite solid. But
it's important as well, if we do lose, let's not freak out.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, of course, this is a Chelsea away. It's a free hit. You know, we never win at Chelsea away. We hardly ever get a draw at Chelsea away. I'm looking at this as a bit of a free hit. I mean, I'm not going to get too angry if we lose, but
thankfully, because obviously
I think we can get something from this game, though. I really do.
Obviously, a lot depends on the manner of the defeat, but thankfully, because of the 3 points at Leicester, it now means this game isn't an essential game where we have to get points. We can afford to drop points here and still have everything to fight for going into the season. So that's really positive. Obviously, we shouldn't give up and we shouldn't surrender the points. We should believe we can go in there and win, definitely. But we have to be in the knowledge as a fan base and not to completely freak out and lose our way just because of a defeat here at Chelsea, because that can happen. And I'm hoping for a draw. I think we can nick a draw from this game, and that'll be a great point. But let's see how it goes.
So what's your prediction?
1-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go for 1-1 as well. I'm going to go for 1-1. Hopefully we can open the scoring, because I think if we go 1-0 down, it will give them a lot of confidence and they can shut up shop like they know they can.
It'll be interesting to see if we do take the lead, how things go.
Yeah, if we take the lead, it could get very interesting.
Because Chelsea aren't used to being. I know against Liverpool, I think Liverpool took the lead in that game, and then Chelsea hit them back and were 2-1 up by half time, I remember, and then Liverpool got an equaliser in the second half. But most of the time, the pan goes, Chelsea take the lead, they sit on it, and then they get hit late on with an equaliser. Yeah. That's happened a few times now. So if we do take the lead early on or in the first half, it'll be interesting to see how Chelsea react to that.
Definitely. But I want to know your score predictions in the comment section. That is our match preview.